we're talking about over 50% of first graders in Israel today are ultra-Orthodox kids. When the state of Israel was founded, the ultra-Orthodox rabbis came to Ben-Gurion and they said, okay, we want you to exempt those among us who are considered to be the geniuses, what's called in Hebrew the Ilui. The Ilui is the superb yeshiva students. And Ben-Gurion said, okay, how many people we're talking about here? They said 400. They said, okay, fine. And everything was okay until Menachem Begin became prime minister in 1977. And Menachem Begin did two things that are the reason for this horrendous situation that we see today. The first thing that he did, he appointed the Haredi. So the Haredim were part of his coalition, but they didn't have any ministerial executive offices, portfolios. But he gave Mr. Lawrence, who was a very shrewd ultra-Orthodox politician, the chairmanship of the Finance and the Budget Committee in the Knesset. Bad idea. And they ruled the Budget Committee for the entire time Menachem Begin was prime minister. The second thing he did, which was horrible, he basically lifted the quota. He basically gave them an unlimited number. And so what they did, they created a whole bureaucracy where every yeshiva boy is Ilui, is a genius. And that's how the numbers were inflated. So a lot of people blame Ben-Gurion for it. And it's true that initially the idea, the principle was set by Ben-Gurion. But the person who really opened the gates for the flood was Menachem Begin. And he did it, again, naively. He didn't do it because he wanted political power. He thought it was the right thing to do. He had a soft spot in his heart for the ultra-Orthodox. And today, it's a real danger. It's a real danger to Israel. We talk about hundreds of thousands. We're talking about over 50% of first graders in Israel today are ultra-Orthodox kids.
Oh, wow.
I want you to think what it means 18 years from now.
Right.
It means that the segment of the Israeli population that is carrying the load, that is carrying the weight, is getting smaller and smaller. They're the ones who are paying the taxes. They're the ones who are producing the knowledge that makes Israel into a startup nation. They're the ones who are serving in the army. And the other sector is growing and growing and growing rapidly. They're sucking more and more resources from the state, and they're refusing, at least their rabbinical leadership is refusing to contribute. They're refusing to integrate. I think that rank and file ultra-Orthodox are willing to be part of Israeli society. In fact, many of them are eager. Nobody wants to be poor. But for example, the rabbis will not allow them to study English or math. So if you don't study English and if you don't study math, by the time you're 18, how competitive are you going to be in the job market?
No, but this is absolutely ridiculous. And I really don't understand why the Rabbanut and why this is even allowed. I was sitting next to an ultra-Orthodox girl on the plane on the way home from Israel, and she's not even allowed to study the Gemara. I mean, I went to a modern Orthodox yeshiva and I studied by the time I was 12, I was studying in Aramaic. They taught me Aramaic also, I mean, I just don't understand where things went wrong. I mean, before the 1700s, the ultra-Orthodox community, the Jewish people didn't dress like that or look like that at all.
Right.
That wasn't even a thing.
So,
and who is allowing it to?
The answer to your question,
they're running with it.
The answer to your question is very simple: politics. Again, if you want to rule, and they have votes and they have seats in the Knesset, if you want to be able to form a coalition that will be able to rule the state of Israel, you have to have them as part of your coalition, and they will present demands. And the question is, are you going to give them what they want or not?
Well, I think there should be a reformation of the system. I think this should be part of it. I think there should also be a reformation of the ideology of the ultra-Orthodox movement.
It will probably happen. It takes time for those processes. And the reason why I say this, it will probably happen, is because of those little devices. The rabbis are again trying to control, but they can't control those devices. And you see more and more young ultra-Orthodox interested in having a job. In the few programs that we have in Israel, academic programs for ultra-Orthodox men and separately for ultra-Orthodox women, the demand is very, very high, which means that grassroots ultra-Orthodox young men and women want to be part of the Israeli society. They want to integrate. They want to have good jobs. They want to have good income. It's their rabbinical leadership and it's their political representation. So the rabbis are not the ones in the Knesset. Those in the Knesset are usually the wheelers and the dealers, the wheeler
Mhm.
dealer types that the rabbis select to represent them in the Knesset. So I think that ordinary Orthodox men and women are also frustrated, not just us. They're also frustrated by this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see where in the Torah it says that you cannot study math or English. Or I mean, think about like the Rambam. They were all the commentators in the Bible were all extremely, extremely educated. I mean, they were
Yeah,
also physicians, they were also experts in medicine and agriculture. And I mean,
yeah.
what
Well, don't forget that they don't really study the Bible. They study the commentary. They don't even deal with the actual scriptures. They study the commentary. But yeah, it does. This is not even a theological argument. There's
yeah,
nothing here about religion or theology or spirituality. This is all about control.
makes no sense.
It's all about limiting people, limiting their access to information in order to control them. That's the whole story.
Well, it sounds extreme and it sounds like very dangerous to me. And it sounds like we need to learn from the mistakes of our cousins on the other side of the border.
Correct. So Israel has so many challenges, and that's only one of them, many challenges that we're facing. So we have security, we have the socialists. So he asked me back when we started this conversation, he asked
Hmm.
me, okay, so what do people in the center want?
Hmm.
The people in the center want a government that will be committed to tackle those issues and to tackle them honestly, professionally, in good faith, with no hidden agenda, no manipulation, no divisions, no divisiveness. Just do your job. We elected
Yeah.
you to work for us. We don't work for you. You work for us.